let's bring in Timothy Johnson, President and Chief Executive Officer of the United Way of the Bluegrass. Good morning, Timothy.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We are 5 days away. We talked about it. You ready for the holiday season?
I think I am.
Good. I'm not still, but yeah. Do you? So before we get into some of the more important things, do you have any Christmas songs that you love?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked. My wife and I, we feel like it's not officially Christmas until we hear Silent Night by the Temptations.
That's
sort of official. And I played it last night. So my wife was finally Christmas time is here.
I don't feel like Silent Night, the Temptations version, gets enough play on like Mixmas.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's some that you hear like once in a long while. Like, why don't you all play this one more? Like instead of Mariah Carey a million times.
Right. I do think the newer songs get the higher rotation, and some of the older classics have kind of fallen out.
That's a good one.
So Timothy, thanks so much for coming. At this time of year, I know everybody's busy, but it's a great time to talk about the United Way of the Bluegrass and all the great things you guys do. Maybe let's start just a little bit about what you guys do and help people understand.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for asking. So United Way of the Bluegrass, we're a 103-year-old philanthropic organization that serves the 10 counties of central Kentucky. We are really, our mission is to help provide members of our community with the resources that help them reach a thriving life, whatever that means to them. So typically we provide resources to address some of the most pressing issues in our community, things like education, financial stability, health, basic needs. I like to sort of style us as being the conveners, the collaborators, and catalysts of community action. So while United Way does a lot across the region throughout the year, there's so much more that we can do with the help of our neighbors across the Bluegrass.
So what is so important about this time of year for you guys, sort of being a critical time for giving?
Absolutely. So as we reach the end of 2024, this is often a time that we reflect on the year, reflect on sort of how blessed that many of us have been and how we'd like to help out our fellow neighbors across the Bluegrass. We also know that while people are very generous throughout the year, that donations that are reached by the end of the year have a ripple effect on how we start off the next year. So that's a really important point. Also, and there's many ways that community members can come together to help support one another. Obviously through volunteerism, really providing your talent, your time, also helping us to advocate and educate our legislators, and it's appropriate being here in Frankfort, helping folks understand sort of the impact of some of the important laws and issues that they tackle here, but also financial contributions to nonprofits like United Way of the Bluegrass really help us to serve even more people.
Those are all good points. And if people do support monetarily around this time of year, you start to think about taxes. How can people make sure that they're making their contribution tax deductible? If they're thinking about those type of things, is there anything you might want to be thinking about for your year-end finances?
Absolutely. So it's a good time that not only can you help others, but it's an opportunity for obviously giving to a nonprofit organization has that benefit for yourself of giving. So we encourage you to go out and give to your favorite nonprofit. Hopefully United Way of the Bluegrass is at the top of that list. But also it really prepares our neighbors for doing their taxes next year. One of the things I love to talk about is United Way's programs, and one that we've been doing for almost 20 years is the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. We call it VITA for short. And what VITA is a program that allows you to get your taxes done at no cost to you. It's really aimed at folks who are low to moderate income. So if you're making less than $64,000 a year, you can come get your taxes professionally done by IRS trained volunteers. You get your tax return in the same amount of time as going to a paid preparer. But the extra benefit of you're not spending that money to a paid preparer to have to get your taxes done, but also there's all kinds of tax credits that often gets overlooked when you go to that paid preparer that we're going to make sure you get. Things like the earned income tax credit, the child care tax credit that actually makes your refund that much larger. And we know that many members of our community across the region could use that extra bit of infusion of cash into their household, things that they can use to pay some bills, save a little, and invest in their families.
Yeah, that's a fantastic service because, a lot of us do online for convenience sake. And you start that thing up and it's all free at first, and then you get to the end and it's like, okay, here's how much you owe us now.
To actually finish it. Yeah.
It's like,
and you also wonder if you're doing the best job you could be doing. Like,
which I'm sure you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
You talked about volunteer opportunities and advocacy. Are there any specific, if people are like, yeah, no, I'd love to help out and do some volunteer work, what are some opportunities and what are the best way to get a hold of you guys?
Certainly. So several times a year, we'll do something that's called Day of Action, where we provide volunteer opportunities, not just benefiting United Way, but many of our nonprofit partners around the 10-county region that we serve. We just finished up last week, in fact, something called Sweet Dreams Project, where we prepared little care packages of pajamas, of an age-appropriate book, snacks, toothbrush, toothpaste, and things of that sort, and delivered it to 2,000 students, elementary school students across the region. We know many of our students didn't have pajamas of their own or a book of their own. So really at this time of year where we're giving and we're thinking about gifts, knowing that not everyone has a gift. So making sure that all of those students have, an opportunity to do that. We do things like that throughout the year. So I would encourage all your listeners to go to our website, which is uwbg.org. We advertise all of our volunteer opportunities throughout the year. And again, this is a way that you can be a blessing not only to that person, but it has ripple effects. When you help that young person, they usually have siblings. They usually have, parents. So it's really a gift that keeps on giving.
We're starting to think about, with the little one, ways to volunteer and get her involved in it and start thinking about things like that. So it sounds like the website's a good resource to see those opportunities.
Absolutely.
And is the website the best place if somebody wants to donate they can go to?
Absolutely. It's very easy to donate. There's a donate button on our page. I encourage them to go on to uwbg.org and hit that donate button.
Any sort of closing message you want to provide to people that might be watching about how important it is to be involved in your community and the ways to do that? Absolutely.
As we all have experienced this year, sometimes this world seems to be in a really sort of combative sort of state. I think it's important to realize that the importance of giving and helping our fellow neighbor.
Especially at a local level,
Especially at a local level.
You really have an impact.
Absolutely. Our tagline is Live United. And that's really what we'd like to encourage more people to do, is to live united. We can do more together. There's a great resource that United Way also provides called 211. It's a toll-free number that you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year if you are in need of any type of health and human service. So the analogy I use is you call 311 if you want to find out when your garbage is being picked up or you want to report a pothole. But if you're in need of food or a place to stay or a job, you call 211. And one of United Way to Bluegrass's navigators will pick up that call and navigate you to the resources that you or your family needs.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
You all do such good work, and there's so many great organizations in town that you all support and kind of as a clearinghouse to them. But yeah, definitely jump on the website and check them out. I'm sure there's plenty of information about those and the people that you're helping. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Yeah, Timothy. Yeah, I hope you have a good one. And I'm sure
get out there singing some carols.
Yeah.
I'll send you Scott's address so you guys can show up
I
there.
sure loves carols.
And I know Timothy now, so I'll be like, hey,
it'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit more prepared to
Right.
have a good.
Fair enough.
Thanks, Timothy, for being here.
Thank you.